When we met, we were professional actors, both of us.
Do some
We're
acting.
acting
Can I
right
give you
now.
like an emotion and you have to portray it?
Yeah, okay, try
Really?
it. Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, Jason. I want delirious laughter.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's
Yeah, it's simple. It's easy.
amazing.
I could turn it on and off.
Whoa. So, guys,
Yeah.
Hello.
Jamie and Jason, how's it going?
Good, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah,
Harry?
good. It's very bright.
I know, I feel like it's going to be really warm out here. I've already put my hair up, but
Did you put sun cream on?
no.
Do you want some?
I'll be okay.
Yeah? Jason?
Like
that's
what?
fine.
You-
I've got a
maybe
base
you-
tan.
Your
I got a base tan
I
going.
don't know.
Jason's already Canarian.
You do look quite brown already. But
You are.
Did you know that podcasting was invented by whales?
Wales.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
because they travel in pods
oh my god.
and they
Jason.
communicate with each other over a long distance.
Let's just stop the video here.
Too much.
So I prepared some questions
Oh.
to interrogate you with.
Okay.
But
I'm nervous now.
It's just like notes. But I've actually got genuine questions that I don't know. And I wanna know the answers. So that's
Okay.
why we're here today, to get answers out of you.
All
Get
right.
answers.
How did you guys end up coming to Fuerteventura? Like, why Fuerteventura?
Well, firstly, we hate winter.
Mm.
I feel like it's something that a lot of people can probably relate to.
Yeah.
And we are from Canada, obviously, and the winters there are really, really cold. And we thought winters would be better in the UK, and really there's not as much snow and they're not as cold, but there's something about that raininess and dampness that is just everywhere that
Yeah.
it's just as bad or worse in a way somehow. I don't know. And so we just really wanted to come up with some scheme where we didn't have to do winters anymore.
And it started kind of with, I think we realized there was not so much work in the UK in January, February, kind of pubs aren't really booking then and not so many gigs. So we figured let's take that time and have a little holiday. And if we can play a gig or two wherever we go,
Yeah.
that'll help, you know.
Yeah.
And so we turned up here one January a few years ago. And we were just walking down the street and I saw a sign outside Chablis bar. They had the sign up for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, everybody that was playing every night. And Wednesday night said like Bill and Charlene or something like that. And then it was crossed out. It said on holiday till February.
Okay.
So I went in and I asked the landlord, Steve, I said, if Bill and Charlene are off, Jamie and I could probably play. And he just kind of looked at me and said, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll see you Wednesday. He didn't ask me any questions. He didn't say, what kind of music do you play or anything like that. Just, yep, come on down. So.
It seems like that's the way it works. Because when I arrived here, I went to Galera Beach and I was like, hey guys, like, do you think I could play here? And the guy was like, yeah, just come every day. I was like,
That's it?
every day? What? That was it. It was like the easiest thing in the world, just asking.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Although I'm sure if you weren't good, you would have been fired just as fast.
The next day,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually,
Thankfully it went
don't
well.
come ever
I
again.
didn't actually come every day. I was a little bit like, I'll come like 3 days. Every day seems
Yeah, that would be
too much.
intense every day.
Yeah. But no. So you guys came here, like, why did you choose Fuerteventura though? Like, how did you actually end up?
It was just kind of random. We didn't know a lot of the typical holiday destinations for UK. Obviously, they're going to be different for Canada. We
Yeah.
usually do Mexico and Cuba and whatnot.
Wow.
So we were just kind of like looking for where has cheap flights, cheap accommodation that looks like it has a good music scene. Rock Island has such a cool website that you can tell that there's lots of musical stuff going on in
Yeah.
town just from that. And we wanted to be somewhere where we could be like exploring out into the desert, going down swimming in the sea. And this was kind of just the place that came up when we were looking, and we figured we'll try this place this year, next year we'll try somewhere else, and we'll just keep trying places until we find somewhere we like.
And this was the first
This
place?
is the first place.
wow. First
And
place.
it was just, it suited us perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
You lucked out.
Stuck.
I
Yeah.
guess similar to me, like when I came here, it's just like instant love for the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, because April Moon, your surnames,
Yeah.
of course, was that like the instant idea for your duo name, or were there other ideas?
Well, I think what it was we thought about it for a couple of weeks. And at the time, we were both listening to the precursor band to Fleetwood Mac, which was Buckingham Nicks.
Okay.
Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. And they used their last names as the name of the band. So we just thought April Moon has a nice ring to
Yeah.
it. So we called it that. Although for a brief period, we did play like 2 gigs in Canada before we came to the UK. We were called Prairie Fever. I think
Yeah.
Prairie
Oh.
Fever.
Yeah.
Prairie
Yeah,
Fever.
so-
April Moon's away back.
Thank goodness
think-
that
yeah.
didn't stick, you know.
Yeah, it was a kind of tied over name until we figured out what we were doing. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't know that that's your surname, like April Moon.
That's
Jamie, April,
true,
Jason Moon.
yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
think her name is April Moon.
and they
Yeah.
call you Jamie.
Yeah, and
It's very confusing.
It's confusing. Like sometimes I don't do it anymore, but when I first knew you guys, I used to call you April. I like in my head, I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm gonna go see April," and I was like, "No," and I call you Jamie as well. I'd get,
I get
so
that
confusing,
all
guys.
the time.
Yeah.
People
Everybody,
say that,
yeah.
Yeah.
And on the island, sometimes we play with this drummer named Juan Carlos, which a lot of people will know because he plays everywhere.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, well, even still sometimes, he just calls both of us Jameson.
Jameson.
just combines it
And
into
it's-
one
That could be
word.
your new
Yeah.
name. if you ever
Jameson,
do.
yeah. Both of us are just Jameson, and it seems easier somehow.
But he just calls you both separately, Jameson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Just
both.
everything
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
separate. Jameson. That's great. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And when did you guys start playing together? How long ago?
It was, it was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
As April Moon.
Oh,
but
yeah,
we were
as April Moon,
playing
but
before
we
that
did-
in a
we
different
played
band.
in a jam band called Bridges of Light. That's
Okay.
how we started. Jamie didn't play guitar back then. She played trumpet and didgeridoo
Bit
and
of
Wow.
percussion.
tambourine, yeah.
Yeah. And
Whatever
then,
I could do to just be involved.
And then we kind of pared that down to a 4-piece, which drums, bass, drums, keyboards, and 2 guitars. And I was married to the keyboard player, and Jamie was married to the drummer. And then the whole thing kind of went crazy in a Fleetwood Mac-esque
Yeah.
bonanza of
Yeah.
craziness. Yeah. And then wound up just being the 2 of us.
Wow. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
10
Before
years,
that,
yeah.
like separately, it's before the band and before that, when did you guys start? Like, when did you start playing music? Like the trumpet and percussion?
When
and
we
the
met,
guitar?
we were professional actors, both of us.
Oh, really?
We were acting in dinner theaters and Shakespeare in the Park. And technically, the first time we met, Jamie came in as a replacement in a show that I was in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we lost one of the actors. He had to go and do something else, so Jamie just sort of stepped in and took
Wow.
over, and it was quite good.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you
Didn't
go.
know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I want to see you guys act now. Should do some
We're
acting.
acting
Can I
right
give you
now.
like an emotion and you have to portray it?
Yeah. Okay. Try
Really?
it. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. Anger.
Sorry, that was probably too loud for the mic.
No, it wasn't. All right, Jason. I want delirious laughter.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's it.
Yeah, it's simple. It's easy.
Amazing.
I could turn it on and off.
Whoa. I felt real as well. I was getting worried. I was
I
like,
know. I
what's
was too. I
going
was
on?
like, oh my god, something happened to
It's
him.
amazing. Yeah, I feel like acting is like one of my weakest ever points. At school, like I got the worst grade in acting. Like there's like, I think 3 is the lowest you could get. I don't know what the system was. It was like 3 to 7. It would be like 3C to A, and then it'd be like, the highest would be 7A. Do you know what I mean? So 3C is
Okay.
the lowest. And I got 3C. And I really
yeah.
liked it. I wanted to be good, but I got like the bottom.
That
every
surprises
time.
me. I feel like you,
You think
should
I
be
could
a
act?
good actor. Yeah.
No. Maybe I can do like the absolute basics. But I
Yeah.
feel like I just feel weird.
You be the guy in the back, like.
Yeah, like guys, my delirious laughter. Like, yeah.
Well, it's a good thing that you're good at other things. You don't have to rely on your acting skills.
But yeah,
I think I could be a hand model.
hand model.
I have good hands. I don't
Maybe
know
that could be
if,
the next thing. From actor, musician,
Yeah.
hand model.
Hand
It's the
model.
normal, the natural progression.
You're gonna have to start like doing the thing where you put lotion on and sleeping with gloves.
Well, no, because I would be in like hardware commercials. Like I'd be holding a hammer. you
No
know.
one
Don't-
thinks that
don't-
those hands have seen any like sort of manual labor ever.
My mother used to tell me I have surgeon's hands, but that's just because she wanted a doctor in the family.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
trying
Yeah,
to make
just
it.
trying to narrow it down. I was 4 years old. You've got surgeon's hands, boy. Remember that.
I think if you dedicate your life now to becoming a hand actor, you could be one of the best in the world.
I think I could
You
too.
could.
Yeah.
Like, do you think? I'm saying, like, do you have
Do you-
that faith in yourself?
I don't, but I say that I do because the kids watching need
True.
to be
You need
inspired.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself
Believe in
if you want to be a hand model.
You can do anything, guys. Anything.
Except
Right.
my job. Don't try and steal that or I'm coming for you.
Yeah, you can't be a musician.
No.
That's impossible.
There's enough of us around.
Yeah.
More than
No
enough, I
space.
feel like. Yeah.
And why did you guys choose Liverpool? Why did you go from Canada to Liverpool?
Well, what we started out as is we lived in a different city every year for a
In
while.
England?
In England.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we left Canada, and we first moved to Southport. We lived in St. Anne's, we lived in Blackpool, we lived in Preston. It was like we just kept moving around, and we got to Liverpool because what was happening is we were getting a lot of gigs in Liverpool, and we kept having to drive there twice a week.
And I always just wanted to hang out there because it is a really cool
Yeah.
city.
We'd be
nice.
downtown or something, and Jamie would say, "Oh, what if we lived there?" Or something like that. And it turned out we wound up living in that neighborhood.
No way.
But also, my mother is from the UK. She was from Manchester, but she went to Teachers College in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And she loved it. She's always spoken very highly of it.
Yeah.
And so, we were just inspired, I think, to want to stay there. Now, of
idea.
course, we're camper van people, so we're
That's right.
more mobile now.
We're there sometimes. We like parking up by Sefton Park. All my friends live in that area, and
Yeah.
it's just like, it's so nice to just open your doors and have all the greenery right there.
It's like your garden, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And you actually spent some time in Liverpool in the
van as
summertime
well.
in your van.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, we had the same van.
I know.
So coincidentally, we both
Well,
showed
it was
up in
two
the
different
UK.
vans, but they were the same.
Yeah,
we went
but
like-
Yeah.
they were
Monday,
twins
Tuesday, Wednesday.
vans. That would have been awkward.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, twin vans. And so
Yeah.
you came to Liverpool to have a little visit. You guys did some
Yeah.
busking there. You came to some open mics with us.
Yeah, it was really cool. It
Mm-hmm.
was really cool. Yeah, when we turned up, Becky and I arrived at one of your gigs, didn't we? And we
Yeah.
pulled up like on the street next to them, and we turned our heads, and they had the exact van. Obviously different color and stuff, but then it was crazy, isn't it?
It was
So
very
crazy.
strange, yeah. And then they came inside our gig, and we were like really excited to play this place. It's a really nice place, all original music. And they sat down, and the people at the next table turned around and they go, "Oh, hey, we've seen you play. You're Harry from Fuerteventura, aren't you?"
Yeah, it's funny. You know what's actually crazy though? During our whole trip throughout the UK, people would regularly recognize me from here.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually wild. Like people were taking photos, like not like
That's crazy.
everyone, but like at least once every couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is I didn't expect that at all.
You must like
I've made it, Jamie.
You made it.
Yeah.
But like think about the amount of people that must have seen you to have
Yeah.
like a small percentage of them not only see you in the UK to cross paths with them, but to recognize you. Like
Yeah.
that must be a massive amount of people. Because like
People passing
when
through,
we
yeah.
play gigs, I know we're going to different venues, but often when we go to the same town, you're trying to get the same people to come out again and
Yeah.
again. But like you living here and playing at a place where it's tourists all the time coming
Yeah.
through, like you must get to know a lot of familiar faces of
Yeah,
people
there's-
that come every year and stuff.
Yeah, there's people. It's really cool because you guys come the same time of year every year, but
Yeah.
when you stay here all year, there's like the January people, and there's like the March people, and there's like the summer people,
Right.
and it's quite cool because a lot of those people come at the same time, and they're like friends within themselves. So it's like a different audience that come around and see
Yeah.
you. But you know them. Like sometimes I play gigs and I know like more than half the people there,
Yeah.
and the rest of the people obviously on holiday and stuff. So you end up having this group of people that you really get to know. It's pretty same as you guys, and then
Mhm.
also extra people that come through and see you. And amongst all those people passing through here, a lot of them from the UK.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
when you go back to the UK, naturally you see every now and then someone
Yeah.
that knows you. It's like it's really
I think too sometimes like if someone's sitting in the audience for 2 hours say and watching you
Yeah.
play, they're gonna be like staring at your face the whole time, like watching you, whereas like you're looking out at the whole audience and trying to like have a personal connection to as many people as you can.
Yeah.
But I think like your face is probably burned more into their brain than someone that they had just like met and
Yeah.
in
No, yeah,
on
of
their
course.
holiday.
You can't remember like 50 people, but they can
Yeah.
remember one or two. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn a little bit 'cause the sun is like blinding me.
beaten down.
Sunglasses and
it is
were a good idea.
I know.
Yeah, you came prepared.
I
It's better
well,
like
kind of
sun-
prepared. I have sunglasses, but no sunscreen.
I'm
And
forcing myself not to squint so it doesn't look at his lines on my eyes.
yeah.
Is that just a thing you do all the
Got to
time?
maintain my youthful demeanor.
Hands first, wrinkles second.
Yeah.
Young looking hands.
Sitting in the
Nice.
sun is not gonna help that.
Yeah.
Oh well, just feels so nice though.
It's nice in the sun.
So they
It
always
is
say, hey, you
amazing.
shouldn't be like exposing your skin to too much sun, but
Yeah.
how come it feels so good then?
Oh, it feels amazing. The other day I just stepped outside and I just felt the sun. I think I'd just been back to visit Becky in England. And I came
Ah.
back here and I was like, you forget, like, even in a
Mhm.
few days, how nice it is just to feel the sun.
Yeah.
It's like the summer in England, like, there's like 2 months of that feeling.
Hmm. But there's
It's
so much
ripped
cold
away.
weather. People really like appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
do
like.
appreciate it when you've been
Yeah.
cold. Like when you're here all year, you forget, to
Yeah.
appreciate it. And yeah. But you gotta be careful. I try and wear more sun cream.
Yeah. Wear
kinda
your
like-
sunscreen.
Yeah, you kids at home.
Yeah.
Kids. Why do you keep saying kids? Like, are there a lot of children that you think
There's
are
a
going to
lot.
be watching
I don't
this?
know. Like, it seems to me that this podcast, I've seen a couple of episodes. It seems like it would appeal to a
Children.
younger audience.
Yeah,
It's
I saw
very
some
immature.
magic tricks and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
We need more puppets and like.
Next time we do just a puppet show of ourselves.
Yeah.
You guys actually did,
We
not a
should-
puppet show.
Well, kind
It's
of.
kinda
They're
like a
stick
puppet.
puppets.
Stick puppet.
Stick puppets.
Full-on production, stick puppet production.
It was during
Yeah.
it was
It's
during
amazing.
lockdown,
Yeah.
and to keep from going completely insane, we well, maybe this sounds insane to
Yeah,
say,
it
but
does.
Yeah.
we made
To
all
be
these.
more normal, we made a stick puppet
we made
show.
stick puppets.
Wrote a musical. Yeah,
wrote a bunch of
hand-painted
songs.
stick puppets.
And then we filmed it all against a blue screen, so that we could put them in, so they'd be against like Western backgrounds that we
Uh-huh.
then made. And it's all. If anybody wants to watch it, it's called The Ballad of Johnny West. It's on our YouTube channel.
It's amazing.
April
Yeah.
Moon. on
Originally,
YouTube.
I wanted it to be like a one-shot thing where they were like, you'd have the music playing and they'd be going,
Okay.
but like it just got way too complicated. Within like the first few days of how we were doing it, we had like props and we wanted like
Yeah.
dance numbers and like.
Then we realized there was plot holes, and we needed to write extra songs to
Okay.
explain
Yeah,
why
it was-
characters were behaving
it's really
this
good.
way.
It's
and-
amazing. It's amazing. And it's crazy that you did all the music for it, all the stick puppets, and all the backgrounds as well. How did you make
We
the
did
backgrounds?
everything.
You did all of that.
Yeah, so the backgrounds are actually quite cool because I just like went on and stole people's pictures online. Which no, most
Like,
of
say-
it was like stock footage and stuff like that. But
Stock
then
pictures of the desert or something.
Yeah.
Then we'd take
Yeah.
them and manipulate them.
Yeah, you had to
yeah,
because it's super
Yeah.
I
specific
love
to the.
like playing around with all those apps. You can get that like warp your pictures and can different effects
It's
and
very
Yeah.
psychedelic. the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Well, it
and-
literally goes psychedelic at one point.
It
It does,
think, yeah.
yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it.
That's very Fuerteventura-esque, that moment. Was that based on here? Because he goes out to the desert,
Yes.
like strips naked.
Yeah.
What do you mean that's for? Oh yeah, I guess
I
there's
mean
a
the
lot of
vibe,
naked people.
but
I
it's-
thought you were
the
saying
naked.
into,
No,
like,
not
I've
the
had this
naked.
experience where I
Some
got
people
super
strip- some
like
people
messed up
strip
and wandered out to the desert.
I mean the
naked and-
desert, not the naked part.
There are a lot of naked people in
There
the
are
desert.
naked people in the
though.
desert as well.
There is a
Yeah.
place. There's a place called Flag Beach, and right next to it, they have a place called Sausage Acres. It's lovingly referred to,
Lovingly.
and that's where you don't see anyone at first because they tend to hide behind stone walls.
They pop out, don't
Yeah.
But if you walk, they're like meerkats.
they? Yeah.
You walk along, they pop straight
They
up,
just pounce on you.
and yeah.
Yeah, it can be. It's very.
But their trousers don't pounce up
no, they
because
just stay down.
they're not there.
No. Right, back to music. Just getting
Music.
weird.
Yeah. Should I ask a question now, or is
If
this
you want,
like?
I've got more, but
Oh,
you can ask one.
I wasn't
Go
sure.
on, you ask
Is
one.
this podcast like about us or about you or about both of us?
We can-
It's all
I'm
of us.
I
asking
don't
a
mind.
question.
Ask a question then.
Okay, so
Oh, I'm scared.
you seem quite young to be like making your living doing music and still have like all the skills to be creating your own songs and stuff like that. And we've been working with you to some extent, and you seem very adept on like the computer when you're recording. There's a lot of skill involved in that, and I know because I've seen you do it for years and years, and we've been in studios watching other people. And I was just wondering, like, did you learn that yourself? Did you study it somewhere? How do you pick up all that knowledge just
Yeah, I didn't.
on your own?
I've never studied music like formally. The only lessons I've done are like with Eric. Like the way I started was just learning off like YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
But in terms of like music production and like with the computer and recording and stuff, literally over lockdown, I got like obsessed with it. I'd never even like recorded anything before that, really. Not myself anyway. And in lockdown, in general, my personality is like I get obsessed with something for like a short burst of time. Then I get obsessed with the next thing. And my obsession in that moment was music production. And I'd spend like 10 hours a day just recording on GarageBand and like
Yeah.
learning about it and watching YouTube videos, like how to, deal with the stuff like EQ, compression and all that. And I think, lockdown was a real blessing in that way because it let me just focus all my attention on recording. And without lockdown, I don't think I would have done it to the degree. I think maybe I'd be starting now, but I wouldn't be very good at it because I wouldn't have that chance to be like fully immersed in it.
Yeah, like
So
your
it
own
was
little
really-
crash course or
Yeah.
something.
I think a lot of people got into things in lockdown, different things, like you guys did your big production.
Yeah.
My thing was just obsessing about music production.
That's a really useful skill though,
And
because
it's
you're
useful, yeah.
recording all this music now. That sounds great, and to be able to do it all yourself, like
It's really cool,
to
yeah.
kind of build your own skills that are creating your own little business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It felt like the right thing in that moment as well,
Yeah.
because I had written a lot of songs and I was like writing stuff in lockdown, and I was like, what should I do with it? I couldn't record it. And I was like, okay, I should probably learn to record it. And it turns out it's really fun. And it's like it's one of those things, like a lot of things, the more you learn about it, the more you realize there is. So
Yeah.
at first you're like, this is easy, I can record it. And then you're like, oh, that sounds really bad compared to that song. You're like, oh, why is that? And then you try and make it better. And then by trying to make it better, you realize there's like 10 more things you could do. And then within those 10 more things, there's like 10 more things, like details within those things. And then, yeah, it's just endless.
And it never stops.
It never stops.
The learning process never ends.
No.
Yeah.
I think too that like it's not just learning about the things you don't know. It's like fine-tuning your ears to be able to hear the differences between small little things.
Yeah, it's true.
It's, you know, it's like what they say that up north in Canada that they have like 100 words for snow.
Really?
For us, it's just snow. But because if you live in it full time and that's your whole world, then you differentiate between, you know, when it's little crystals like this or when it's all covered in a blanket like this.
Yeah, wow.
It's broken down into smaller and smaller and smaller segments. And I think like music is definitely like that. Like the more I learn about music, the more when I'm listening to a song, I hear the breakdown of different instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the studio, like my ears are not nearly as tuned in as you guys and different people, engineers that we've worked with in the studio, where you are able to hear those little tiny differences.
Yeah.
And be like, no, I can tell that this is wrong. I can tell that this needs changing. And like, that must be a rabbit hole as well.
Well, I used to go down to like a cafe here, I remember, and take my laptop, and there's this, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like, I can't remember, it's like Ear Gym or something like that. And they'll play like a song, or you can put your own song in it. And then it will boost the song in a certain area, like a certain EQ. So a certain, like a subtle change. And then you'd have to identify it. So you're essentially doing like this ear gym, you know. So I just
Yeah.
practiced like that. And at first I couldn't really hear the difference. But over time you hear like, oh, that's got more high end, more treble. And you're like, oh, that one's got more bass, and that one's got more middle. And then you start to differentiate between like 1 kilohertz versus 1,000 versus 3,000, you know. And, you know, you actually hear the difference quite clearly.
Yeah.
But it's really subtle. It's like, it just takes time. Yeah. If you haven't done it before, you just don't hear any difference.
No, I feel like that in the studio all the time. Like all my notes are about like quite obvious things that I want to change, and I'm good
You're
at like
really you've got really good suggestions. Though.
I think I'm good at like ideas, like, oh, it would be cool if we added this or we did this. But then when it comes down to like the fine tuning and like the sanding and finishing of it, then I just kind of step back and be like, I think it sounds great, guys. And
I think that's really useful though. It's useful to have someone that knows the more technical parts, but it's also useful to have someone that's just purely intuitive in that way, because you can get lost in the technicalities and destroy the life out of something by trying to make it sound perfect.
And it is one of the ways we like to work in the studio together, where I take on more of a production role. Jamie will come up with ideas. She'll be like, I think this needs some kind of percussion instrument, something high, like banging on a water glass or something.
Yeah.
So then it's my job to sort of figure out what it's going to be and make
Yeah.
it happen, you
no,
know.
that's not right. It's got to be more tingy or something.
Yeah.
And that, I think too, it's like learning the language of it, you know, because sometimes I think that's the hardest thing to communicate in music is when you're trying to say, I want it to sound like this, and the other person is going, I don't know what that means. And like, it can be hard. So hard to describe a sound that you want or a feeling that's coming from the sound.
Yeah.
This should sound more happy. Well, how do you make that
In what
more
way?
happy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's a strange thing.
But it's always useful, and I always send my songs to people that don't have anything to do with music. Like my friend Moha, he loves music, but he can't, if you tap a rhythm, he can't copy it. Like he can't even, like, if it's really simple, you know, a really simple rhythm, like, I don't know, maybe that's too complicated. Even like something very simple.
Yeah.
He just goes like that, you know? And we always love him.
Yeah.
But it's good to have people like that are just purely listening. They're not trying to listen like, oh, is that out of time? Is that out of tune? They're just like, do I like it?
Yeah.
And that's, I think it's
And
useful
what
to
do
have
I like
people.
about it?
And most people listening aren't going to be like analysing like, oh, that kick drum was a bit loud and the snare's a bit quiet. They're just going to be listening to the song. So it's good to send it and get feedback from people that aren't listening to all
Yeah, that's a good idea.
the details. Because
Yeah,
the
I like
details aren't what the song's about. It's about the feeling it makes.
Right,
and-
yeah. But there is a difference when people are listening to Spotify or something like that. If it is a little bit out of time, sometimes like they might not know what is wrong with it.
No,
but they
yeah.
know that something's just like off a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. like something's out of tune, they might not be able to say, oh, the guitar's out of tune, but something just sounds bad.
Yeah, it's just not quite right.
Yeah, of course. And I wanted to ask you guys as well about songwriting. Because when I write a song, usually like the lyrics, the melody, everything sort of comes together like in one moment. You know what I mean? Like it comes to. But do you guys? I know a lot of people like write the melody first, or they'll have the lyrics first, or like the concept first. What sort of happens? What's your sort of process for writing a song?
I find it comes in all different ways, and I kind of like that because it means that no song is going to be the same. But I think it can also be frustrating because when I want to write a song, sometimes you just get inspired to write a song. But when I'm like, I want to write a song, it's hard to know a starting point because it's always kind of different. And I've got so many demos of just little pieces that I just can't develop into something else. And then every once in a while, something will come along. But mostly, I think I would probably come up with like an idea or some lyrics first, or kind of a song that I want it to be similar to.
Okay.
And then work out from there. What about you?
Mine has evolved. Lately, what I've been doing is I come up with a phrase. The song Robert Kane off our last album. I was just walking down the road outside of basically we lived in Kane's Brewery in Liverpool for a little while.
Okay.
It's just a little apartment above the pub, and there's a statue of Robert Kane right outside our window, that you can see every day. And I was walking along and thinking, yep, just hanging out with Robert Kane as I was walking along, like I do every day, hanging out with Robert Kane. And I was like, I've been hanging out with Robert Kane. And it kind of developed into a song. And the song isn't about being there with the statue of Robert Kane. The song is about something completely different. It's about life and how things are constantly changing. And sometimes you wish you could just freeze in that moment, because I was having such a wonderful time being there. I knew it would change. But I was saying, Robert Kane assured me that it will not change.
Yeah.
And it kind of just sprung from that phrase, and I find that that's been happening a lot.
I feel like that happens with me a lot, where the actual like song comes in one, if that makes sense. But usually the sort of idea is the sort of concept first. Like I have some sort of inspiration like that, and then it sort of comes, if that makes sense. Like there's this moment of inspiration, and then the song comes, like either the concept comes, or like you say, like a line, or just a melody, and that inspires the rest of the. It
sounds almost. I feel like your song "Itchy Feet" must have started that way.
Yeah, I started getting itchy feet, and I was like, it's really annoying. Then I got some cream, and then I was like, I should write a song about this problem.
I assure you, the song is not about that.
It's not literally about it. But everyone here that's not like English, or like English isn't their first language, they're like, why'd you write a song about itchy feet? I'm like, no, it means like you want to go traveling. And they're like, that sounds disgusting. Like, no, you don't get it. But yeah, that was like that. I just wanted to like go away and travel, and I have that feeling a lot. So that's it was kind of like that. Itchy feet. Yeah, that was the word. I want to write a song called Itchy Feet. I didn't think about the repercussions of non-English speakers judging me, but
we don't got to think about them. Look, no, I've alienated the non-English speakers as well. Gonna get canceled.
Yeah, luckily they probably won't understand you. So
that's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, although people who has English as their second language, like I feel like most of the music world our Western music world or whatever is all in English, and I know a lot of people who write music in English with English as their second language, and I think that would be so difficult, because like it's difficult enough to write music, I think, at times, but like there's so much in lyrics that are poetry, and having like those double, triple layered meanings to things and plays on words, and and to get away from cliches that we just automatically recognize. But if English isn't your first language, you might not realize that Moon, June, spoon rhyme is cheesy or something like that. Yeah. And like the ways that we were talking about this the other day, that like one thing that I really love is near rhymes. Like at the ends of lines where words don't quite rhyme. They're close enough, but something about them doesn't quite go. And I just think that something about it on my ears I just really like. But I think
it's subtle.
It is something that like if you don't know the language really well, that it would be harder to think in those terms in English.
Well, Joelle is a good example. Like he's Italian, but his English is so good, and he recognizes all these cliches, and he writes really well. And I'm always really surprised some of the expressions he comes out with. He said the other day, like, that's not very me. And I just thought that's quite colloquial. You know, I don't know. It's not like really basic words, but just quite like a colloquial thing to say. And his English is really good. He keeps his Italian accent out of choice, so he still speaks like this. But his actual English is amazing, and he writes in English and stuff. And I really respect it. Someone to be able to write in a second language. Like, I feel like if I wrote a song in Spanish, it would just be terrible.
Yeah.
It'd be
Lo
embarrassing.
siento, mi amigo. Yeah, it'd be terrible. It'd be so
Yeah,
terrible.
it'd be awkward.
Oh, you had a song about your bicycle getting robbed.
Oh, yeah.
In Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was.
Mi bicicleta robado.
Maybe this could be. What was your other band name earlier?
Prairie Fever.
No, there was like Jameson. That could be Jameson.
James-
That could be your
Jameson's.
Spanish
Yeah.
Spanish duo.
Well, we
Jameson
have
duo.
I feel like
Jameson.
we have a bit of a Spanish alter ego because when we play with our drummer Juan Carlos,
Yeah.
we try to sneak under the radar of April Moon and be a little bit more worldly. So I think I call myself El Guapo.
Wow.
El Guapo.
Yeah, guess who made up that name for himself?
Jason.
And or Juan Carlos and the Sunspots sometimes.
The Sunspots.
That's a good name.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
So, guys, where can people see you play?
Ooh, well, in town here, you mean?
Yeah.
We
Or everywhere.
are doing for the next little while Wednesdays at Retro and
Saturdays at Murphy's.
At Murphy's and some Sundays at the Sports Bar.
Okay.
It's a mystery though. You'll have to.
Yeah.
You can find them.
It's like a
Track us
treasure hunt.
down.
Yeah, find it. And then we're going to be back in the UK for the rest of the year. We've got some super cool shows coming up. We just found out that we're going to be supporting Sam Roberts' band
Oh, sweet.
at Future Yard in Birkenhead, which is right outside of Liverpool. First of all, I've just been really wanting to play at that venue for a long time. It's really cool. And Sam Roberts' band is like really big in Canada.
Okay.
And so to have him coming over to the UK and we're doing this support spot,
Oh,
just
cool. It's
awesome.
a good fit.
Yeah,
good fit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We are here on the island until the end of March.
Yeah.
End of
So,
March, yeah.
cool. And we have a song coming out
A song.
together.
It's a secret.
Kids.
What?
Is it a secret?
I don't know.
should I
No,
delete
no,
it?
we can tell
I
the secret
delete it.
now.
Let's
It'll
just
be
delete
out
the
in a
whole
little
podcast.
while.
I feel like by the time this airs, maybe we'll have leaked it
Yeah,
already.
it'll
It's
be
hard
out
to
coming
say.
out soon.
Yeah,
No, let's say we'll put this out just before. Let's put it out just
put it
before.
out just before.
Yeah.
So those of you who have watched till the end of the video, this is
This
like
is just for you. The secret
This
scoop.
is-
This is your reward.
This is your reward.
I feel like they might prefer like candy or something
we can't
like
give
that.
you.
but-
We can't give you any sweets.
You can gaze at my hand.
Ooh, yeah, those are going to be
Whoa.
worth a lot of money someday.
Yeah, quick, take a screenshot. You can sell those.
Yeah, but yeah, so we've co-written a song together.
Yeah.
We have recorded it at Harry's home studio. We've been working really hard at it, actually.
Yeah.
I have to say, you've got like such a strong work ethic. I feel like when we're in the sun, we tend to be quite lazy, and you've been like, "All right, guys, we're recording this day. You
I
better
know. I
come
feel
around."
bad. I'm like every day. I'm like, guys, come around at 3. Come around at 8.
No,
like
it's been
later.
good.
I've got all these marks on my back from the whip.
Yeah, Jason,
Sometimes.
record better.
Yeah, no,
Play it properly.
it's been cool. I know you do a lot of collaboration projects with different people, but we tend to just work with ourselves, and so it's been really interesting to
Yeah.
to see the way that you do things, and I think there's been a lot of kind of give and take, and I'm really happy with the result.
Me
I'm so
too.
excited to share it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's nice working with people because, especially you guys, like the pushback of ideas really like helps. I think to get something even better. It's like the 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always find that like if I come up with an idea and I share it with someone that's also a musician to work in it as well, they always make it better. And if like the same, like I think the 3 minds of us have made something really cool.
Yeah.
I think
exciting.
it was interesting how the song came about because we were all sitting, just having a drink and talking about it. And it was just, the song, we've got to do a song together and it should be something about this. And we were discussing the concept.
You wanted
Yeah.
a ukulele in the song.
Yeah, I was like, I want it to be a really summery.
Before the song was written, you were like, gotta have my ukulele.
Yeah, yeah. It was amazing because I kind of like, we were talking about like the kind of song we could write. And then the next day they just sent me this file. And it was like this amazing, like verse and chorus. It's like, that's the one. It's amazing. No, you smashed it. I couldn't believe it because I'd explained this song, like we should write a song like this. And you guys just made the exact
Like, okay, yeah, let's have
thing,
it. Yeah.
but better that I could imagine. Yeah. 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 And that's
Yep.
coming out Tuesday.
Tuesday.
From whenever you're watching, it'll be a Tuesday. It's called Happy Place. All the links and stuff will be in the comments. And April Moon.
Yay.
April Moon everywhere. April Moon Band on Spotify. April Moon. Is it band on
April Moon
Facebook?
Band on
Yeah,
Instagram.
on
April Moon
Band.
Band on Facebook. The only thing where we're just April Moon is YouTube.
But if you
YouTube
search
/
April Moon Band, we still come up
We
there.
Still
Still
come up.
there.
So just
We're
search
still
April
there.
Moon Band everywhere. Check out their music if you haven't heard it. And if you have, just like listen again. Why not?
Why not?
Just listen
There's
to
lots
repeat.
of it.
There's
Go
lots.
back to the beginning, start over.
Just listen to all of it. All of it and repeat.
It's quite, yeah. I think we've got like about 40 songs up online or something.
No way.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
No, you're amazing.
And a cooking video.
Plus,
And a getting drunk video in Corralejo.
yeah, this
Find
is
that.
one of our most popular ones is Corralejo Pub Crawl.
So you can see them getting drunk, listen to their music, or watch them cook. So you got options, guys.